Hello everyone, and welcome back to the world beyond my shell. So since the last episode I did some off-camera mining. Basically I spent all the night and a few more nights down here. I made some strip mining, and my main goal was to get copper and some iron if possible. So look at this is the loot that I get. This was a different experience than with the efficiency 5 pickaxe, but still I'm happy with how it came out. So I think it's still nighttime outside. I want to wait a little before we go out. And I don't want to spend any more time down here. This was enough. Look at this. I have almost 2.5 stack of copper, some iron, coal, building materials, and a few more stuff. And I didn't only spend the time in the mine. I went outside to get some food. I found a lot of fish, not to mention that I found a lot of drowned. I almost died because of them. The river that's close here, that's basically a drowned farm already. So if I want to make a farm for them, I just have to come back here. Let's salvage everything that I have, and I think it's time to move on. So in the previous episode, I forgot to mention something that you probably noticed, to be honest. That English is a second language for me. It's not my mother tongue. And to be fair, my mother tongue has nothing in common with English. Well, other than they both use human sounds for communication, but that's basically all. Nothing else. So please excuse me if I if I take some time trying to say what I want to say. That's probably the reason for it. Alright, so I packed up everything, and by the way, this is not the exact cave that I started to make last episode, because once I went out to get fish, and on my way back it got dark and I couldn't find my way back here, so I made another one. It's still very close, and I just couldn't find the previous one. So let's see. Okay, now it's morning. Cool. And now, whoa, that was an Enderman. Ooh. Ooh. Let's get this. Will I get a pearl? And I don't see the pearl. Well, anyway, it was a good effort. So before it gets dark again, I want to find a bed, and in the last episode I was talking about finding sheep. But that's not the only way, and by the way, I still love this mountain. This area looks so nice. Maybe I will come back here. So what I want to do is to find a village and settle there. As I mentioned before, I want to have a lot of villagers. I will have a lot of plans for the villagers. So I think the best way to get started is to find a village. And to find a village, I will just pillar up, look outside, look around, and let's see what we can find. So in the previous episode, you probably noticed that I didn't make any cuts. It was basically a completely uncut video. And for the first episode, that was my plan. I wanted to have the challenge to speak through the whole 30 minutes without issues, too much issues. That was my practice round, and I'm also searching for my way of doing YouTube videos. This is my first time ever making them, so I don't really know what my style is, or what my style could be, what I like, what I don't like. I also don't know what you like, what you don't like, so this is just experimenting, looking around, literally right now. and some reflection for the previous episode. It gave me so much more anxiety than I expected, and it took me more than a week to come back. So I plan to come back sooner than that. And also, other than that, I don't find any villages. Let's go higher. So other than that, I also experienced a lot of issues in my private life. That was also the reason why I didn't come back for so long. Everything peaked, so I had a rough 2 weeks. And I still don't find a village. Or am I just blind? Where are the villages? When I made an amplified word, I think I traded great looks for functionality because I really can't find anything. Well, alright. My intuition says, let's go that way. So, let's go that way. So, going back to the topic of issues, there is one thing I wanted to share, because one of these things were about work. I think you probably experienced this as well. I work as a software developer. Oops. You see? These guys, this is the drown spawner. I don't do anything and it's full of them, which would be awesome later, but not this early. And I don't think I have to fight them now. So when it comes to work, it's impossible not to notice that our productivity just goes up for decades, and for more than hundreds of years, it just went up as technology improved. We have more and more capable machines. It takes a lot of load from us. And yet, our working hours remain the same. And it feels so draining. Doing even more. Oh, melon. So doing even more, but not having any additional time for it. Or not having any additional money for it. It just more and more without really getting anything more out of it. So yeah, it's one of my frustrations, because I already feel rushed when it comes to the job. It would be a different story if I didn't feel the time pressure. So for example, if I get a task, I could do it in a lot of ways, but I always feel that I have to be rushing. There is no time to make it in the way I want. It takes too long, even if the result gets better. I just don't feel that I can afford spending so much more time on it. So yeah, that's one of the things that I just wanted to share. It's a frustration of everyday life. Okay. So let's try to find a village. And in my mind, I actually picture a village that is right at the border of a mountain. So some parts of the village are down and some parts of the village are up. Maybe even a house is also cut. Oh, yes. 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 That's good enough. If I can take it. Now, what should I throw away? I don't need this. I don't need this. Where are the wool? This one sheep would be enough, because it will eat and regrow and I can make a bed, finally! Oh my god, I was waiting for this. No more unwanted nights. Haha! Yes! I find the bed. I made the first bed. Now searching for a village can be a lot more stress-free. Oh, and some iron. It's nice having resources without going to the mines. Oh right, it's not ingots anymore. I don't need this. Okay. Still no village in sight. What's that? Little floating blocks. And back to the way of making videos. Ooh, iron. I also want to experiment with making some cuts or maybe time lapses later. So it's not a hard rule for me to make the videos uncut. I saw a channel that was focusing about practicing public speaking and making the videos uncut, especially at least early on. And my focus is also public speaking, partially. But I want to be focusing on the game as well a little more. So making some cuts, some progress, because the first half an hour that you saw last time, well, I have to admit that this is not the progress that you can see in half an hour YouTube videos. So we'll see. I heard it. I heard it. There are drowned here. And the sun is getting down. Ooh, melon. I mean pumpkin. But what is it that I don't need? I don't need this many of them. So I have both melon and pumpkin, which would be great for the villager trading. Oh! Please sleep before. Nope. Okay. I really don't like these small ones. They are just too fast. Okay. So I still have too many things on me. I don't need this many cobblestone. So let's get the resources, especially the iron. That's what I want, because I have enough copper for now. Okay, let's pillar up and get these. Like this. In earlier Minecraft versions, I used a lot of pillars for navigation. And when I got the Voxy mod with Chunky, I was thinking about using it again as a viable way of navigation. But maybe I didn't think it through when I turned over to Amplified, because I don't see very far. But I see a lot of pretty places, which is a great compensation. By the way, have you ever played on Amplified worlds? Because even though I talk a lot about it, this is my first time actually experiencing it, so I'm curious. And was this all? I don't have to have it here. Let's get some more. Okay. And when it comes to the villagers, I want to make use of the farmers. It's so dark here. I want to make use of the farmers because it's really easy to farm a lot of melon and pumpkin, and the trades are great even without turning them into zombies. Okay, let's be a little careful now. And grab this iron. Nice. Nice. I don't need the coal that much, but I need those. So let's keep going. Maybe a little to the side. Okay. Okay. And I'm also thinking about making an iron farm, which is very useful. I have some experiences with them. But I'm not sure yet. Because after having the farm, I was able to make a lot of hoppers easily. But iron just lost its value. I had way too many of it. My farm had 4 sets of villagers with their own zombies to scare them. And I put the result, the loot, to an autocrafter. So I sorted the result. One of the chests got filled with the flowers, the poppies, and the other had the iron ingots, and I crafted them into iron blocks. And at some point I had 2 full double chests of iron blocks, and I just didn't feel any value when it came to the iron. On the other hand, I know what it's like when I don't have enough, so I'm still kind of hesitating to decide. What's this? Okay. Because I really don't want to torture villagers that much. But having iron is also great, so yeah, we'll see about that. And now we're here after the first cut. Look what I found. There is a village here. I found it. I found it. This is what I was looking for. I don't see any villagers though, but if there is a village, then there must be villagers as well. And if you can see, this is the previous pillar, so it's not even that far away. And that's spawn, I think. And there is also one more place that I had to travel through and also collected some of the iron. Looks like not all of them. But anyway, I found the village, which is right here. And also I found that when it comes to chunky, there are the chunks that it loaded, and these are the missing chunks that I should load by going there. Or I don't really know how it works. But what is this? Oh. If there is a trial chamber or something right here, even I could see that. So anyway, there is a village. So let's go there. And we have arrived. Look at this. This is the first house that we see. And to be honest, it was a lot further than I expected after watching at it from the pillar. It took me a surprisingly long amount of walking and sleeping at night on a tree. But I want to show you something before we go there. Do you notice something weird? Something strange? This sugar cane is 4 tall. I have never seen anything like it. This is supposed to be the maximum height, as far as I know. But this is 4 tall. Is it a new thing? Or I don't remember using any mods that would do that. What happened here? I just want to check. So, oh, I'm full again. Or full still. So if I just go up here. What? What? Huh? What? I have never seen this. Wow. Well, I learned something new again. I have never seen a sugarcane go that far. Is it a bug? Or is it really a mod that I just used without noticing? Well, anyway. That also looks like fort or... Well, anyway. Let's look at the village. I want to find the villagers first. Or I want to arrive to the village first, because it's still at the side. These are the first structures. Looks like someone was expecting a flood with the building. Clever, clever. And... Okay... Where are the people? Where are the people? I really hope they are here somewhere. Oh, maybe I could use the bell. Anyone? Aha! I see someone. And I see a golem. Uh-huh. We have some more bread. Small villagers. Yes, this is the place. This is the place. We also have some melon. Some wheat. I already like this place. So what's the plan here? Let's think about it for a while. Because in the longer term, I always wanted to build something that spirals up a mountain like that. And there are some candidates. Eventually I might do that, but definitely not at first. It would be such a grind that I don't want to do it with these tools yet. So first, I need to find a way to get emeralds. A lot of emeralds. When I have a lot of emeralds, then I can level up all kind of villagers. And the easiest way to do this is probably with a fletcher. Because I can just chop trees, make sticks, and trade them for emeralds. Then eventually, when I have enough material, I can build automatic, not sugarcane, automatic pumpkin and melon farms. And the trades with the farmer villagers for pumpkin and melon are really good, even without turning them into zombies. So, how to do this? As I mentioned in the first episode, I don't want to make villager holding cells. So maybe I will just expand this village and first of all make a villager breeder. That's kind of a little exception to the rule because that's temporary. No one will stay there forever. You know, just like having a life on this earth. It is temporary. No matter what we do, we don't stay here forever. And I don't think we would want to. So just like that, we make a temporary place for a villager breeder. And for the different professions, like for example farmers, I could make quite a big place where they can roam around, have their working stations, have their beds, they can talk to each other. There are some nice builds. Well, I'm not saying this confidently because I'm really not a builder, which you will see very soon. But that way I could make the place for the farmers. And maybe before that, I could make a smaller place for some fletchers, or maybe just build a house for some fletchers and they can roam around wherever they want. Like this. What biome is it, by the way? Biome savanna. Aha. I didn't I didn't recognize them from the closing. So yeah, let's get at it. I'll be back when I made some progress. Well, I did make some progress. But it's not the kind of progress that I was talking about earlier. No. Because I forgot something very important. And that is to have some sort of storage, some sort of area that can hold the items that I will need, that I make, that I create, a place to stay at. And in previous worlds, I remember having a huge cobblestone cube, which was so ugly. And I had chests scattered around everywhere. I have random beds everywhere. So, nope. This time, I'm going to do it in a different way. It will be very different. And even at work, you can learn that the most innocent, tiny little bit of quick fix will become the most permanent solution ever. So check this out. I made a starter house off camera. And I'm really happy with how it turned out to be. And to be honest, I just wanted to make something small, something made out of wood. But after making the first layers, I was like, well, if I did this much, why don't I make another floor? And I made another floor, and well, if I did this much, why don't I add some balconies? And it went and went on, just like in the movie Forrest Gump. If I run so much, then why not go a little further? So, welcome to my starter house. I even made some windows. I always have visitors. The villagers love this place. I like the view. And if I turn around, I was going a little overboard with the windows. Look at this view. I completely forget that there is a hill. But if we come here, it's still a view. I can even see the lava. I can picture myself reading a hotel brochure, which would talk about this window like a really close-up mountain view and with a very unique touch of scenery of the volcano. Oh my god, I will have to do something with it. But I will just leave it for now. So, welcome again to the house. I will try to close the doors. If these are still my doors, villagers are doing things. I have my furnaces here. I have a lot of chests. I have a bed and place for further expansion. I don't really know how I will spread my stuff here other than the chests. Maybe when I have some more valuable stuff, I put it upstairs, which I still haven't showed you. Oops. See? I have friends around here. Oh, come on, not on the chests. Ah, villagers. So I really like this upper place, this little inner balcony or terrace. I don't even know what to call it. I have ladders on both sides, lot of windows, and I have 2 balconies. Both of them offer a really nice view on the village and on the mountains around. Especially, I love these mountains. It's just, wow, so magical. It looks like they are so huge that clouds form inside them. So I just love this view. I only use the 3 types of wood. See, he also likes this view. It feels like I'm getting a tour guide for my own home. Really? Anyway, this is the first balcony that I made actually. And this also gives a great view. Right. And there is one more place, because after building the second floor, I was thinking about what early stuff usually gets so ugly and so permanent that I should do something about it before it even starts. And that is the Nether portal, which I obviously don't have yet, but I prepared a place for it. And this will be my Nether floor, which is closed from villagers. This is where I will put the portal. I have some chests that I will use to store some Nether related stuff, crafting table, and the way outside, because I made a roof, which still gave me place for this outside space. I don't really know what to do with it, but why not have it? And I also wanted to give you a look from the outside. This is how it turned out to be. And I'm really happy with the result. And somehow the plan came along. It's like it built itself. And I just followed it along. So yeah, now I have a place to stay. I have some neighbors that have some issues with boundaries, right? But it's also nice to not be lonely here. So now I can start working with the actual villager project. Okay, so to wrap up this episode, I think a lot of progress was made, especially compared to the first one. I found a village, I made a place that can be the base of operations for quite a while, because in the previous world, just one little story more, I made that ugly cobblestone cube and scattered chests. And I was like, okay, just a temporary thing, I will remove it. And at the end, I had to look at it for tens of hours. I don't even know how long. It took me months until I get to the place where I could build something new. Or not even build something, at least demolish it. So again, to wrap up this episode, I hope you enjoyed it. And if you like watching an authentic YouTube journey that starts actually from zero, then I think you're at the right place. And see you again in the next episode. Bye.